a friend introduced himself the other day and he said, "Hi, my name is so-and-so, I am a seeker." And my first response was, "Hi, I am Leon, I am a finder." And, you know, that's really been the journey that I've been on my whole life. I have always been seeking the truth, and I do see myself as someone that have found some nuggets of truth, and I'd like to share them. Now, I found these nuggets of truth not because I'm a guru or a saint or special or anything. I feel it's by pure grace. A lot of us do get these little bits of information, and we get them by grace, absolute grace. And how I see this whole experience of us being here on earth is, I almost see it like toddlers on a playground trying to figure out what is real. And we try this and we try that, and we're all quite clumsy and we don't know, but we're all in the game. We all have like this time now to play the game and to figure out whatever we can. And we do have guidance and texts that have been given to us from past generations, but often we have to filter through those to see what is true and what is not, because they're not all true, unfortunately. And then some of us stumble on some insights, maybe not the full insight, but some insight, and it's useful to share these with each other so that we can help each other along. I feel we all have different pieces of the puzzle. We can put them together and work together towards our collective. I almost use the word ascension. And I want to use the word waking up. Our collective awakening, our collective realization, right? So what I can share with you, what I have discovered and what I have seen. Okay, so in 2018, I had my first by grace insight where I started seeing the new earth. I was on the beach, I had done a meditation. That meditation was a meditation into the sensations of my body. Then after the meditation, I sat on a rock. I started feeling these like vibrations of sensation, increased sensation through my body. And then my whole environment changed into bam, heaven. It's very overwhelming. An incredible amount of brilliance and beauty and magnificence started streaming in. The feeling that comes over me now when I say it is there's an absolute void of contraction, an absolute void of suffering. And for the nervous system, who is used to the heartbeat of existence, the heartbeat of suffering, release, suffering, release, suffering, release, that our whole existence is based upon these like dark and light, yes and no, yes and no, yes and no. And suddenly you have one big yes streaming through your whole body. It can be quite overwhelming. So I had it in, like, I would say it lasted for maybe a minute. It was so overwhelming that I made an agreement with this opening. It was like a curtain opened. I made an agreement with this opening for it to come in slow, but I was curious and I wanted to know more. I later learned that I had had a Kundalini awakening, a mild one. Some people have very extreme ones. This is still, it came later for me. Some people have very extreme ones, and then that overwhelm is very big. So it's having a milder Kundalini awakening that you can sort of control is easier. Since that, so I'm sharing all of this in order to help the people that would like to try this avenue, for those of us explorers That's why I'm sharing. Like, we're toddlers. We're figuring this out. It's a game. Let's try this. Okay, that was, hey, tuning into the body. I know what led up to that first opening of the curtain, seeing heaven, was years and years and years of body awareness. And I had also done the training, and I'm qualified as a voice movement therapy practitioner. And I know that modality really helped me to tune into the vibration, the sensation, and the emotions in my body, and to give expression to what I feel like on a physical and emotional level in my body. That's a big key of getting in touch with your body so deep that you basically look through this portal that goes through the body and then opens this curtain of seeing heaven. So for some of you, this might sound really strange, and that's okay. For others that are closer, this will make sense, right? So I've been on a journey of figuring out how to open this curtain more often. I find it is much easier to do it in nature. What we are doing is we are tuning into Life-Source, which flows through our bodies, the sensation. There's a lot of Life-Source in nature. So it's much easier to do that tuning in nature. And then when one does that simple physical tuning in, one perceives nature as an absolute explosion of brilliance. And so I've been practicing different techniques of tuning in. I go out in nature or sit in nature, I meditate a bit, and I simply feel my body, feel my body, feel my body. And I also sit in nature and I look at it just with absolute appreciation, seeing how many shapes, curves, different curves and shapes I can see. Noticing how many different hues of green I can see, for instance. Noticing how things move, how everything moves slightly different. And all of this I'm doing while I'm tuning into my body. So that is a really good way to open the curtain. We can also call it the veil. The veil. I have come to understand or feel our veil is our trauma, responses, is our attachment to stuff, our attachment to suffering. Okay, so I've been practicing that. One good thing that does happen when you learn to tune into your body is you start having bliss flowing through the entire body. You can qualify those as full body orgasms, but now, the whole of society sees the whole sensual experience as bad for some reason. Sees bliss as bad, sees pleasure as bad. So yes, doing some work around my understanding of sensuality and its place in our lives, and the place of my body in my life, and my ability to experience joy through every cell in my body, that has been really good, because for some reason we've been programmed that our bodies are bad, that our pleasure is bad. But guys, like, what is heaven? What is heaven? Have you ever heard like people that speak about this NDE, near-death experience, that they speak about a sensation through the body that's absolute pure bliss? Our true state, our original state, is pure elation, pure bliss, pure fantastic pleasure. I find sometimes people get a little bit almost sad when we speak about pleasure, because they say they can feel, but they only feel pain and they don't feel pleasure yet. And I know, let me not teach too much, but I know, I think what I qualify as pleasure is simply like the intensity of being. Like pleasure, what is pleasure? What is pleasure? You know, we give it a label. For me, pleasure or bliss through the body is an intensity of awareness. It's like I qualify that as pleasure, you know, intensity of awareness. Okay, so just a little bit more about things that I have seen. So, yes, regular practice in nature, meditation, of getting the nervous system used to the amount of brilliance when we open the veil. I am also understanding now what the spiritual teachers mean when they say the new earth, heaven on earth, that heaven on earth happens through us, right? So I've been exploring on helping other people to feel this sense of bliss in their bodies, how to feel so deep. That's the trick. You have to feel extra deep into your body. I've been helping people to feel extra deep into their body until these like ripples of awareness ripple through the body. And what I've noticed that every time a person tunes into this river of awareness through their bodies, spiritual insights simply come to them. It comes through them. So I'm learning that the insight comes into one by itself. The more we meditate, the more we sense, the more we go through this portal of the body. Right. Another big thing that shifted for me by grace is I did the Vipassana meditation in May this year. It's now 2024. I did the Vipassana meditation where we meditate into the sensations of the body. It's a Buddhist meditation. So up until now, all my explorations have been solo explorations, just through my own intuition and by accident. So, and I'm very cautious to let myself be taught by anyone else. I'm just very cautious. Maybe I just don't trust systems, having grown up in apartheid South Africa, you know, maybe I just don't trust authority so much. Would rather just do self-explorations. But anyway, so doing the Vipassana was the first time where I actually allowed myself to be taught. I was asking for further guidance and teaching, and then this came across my path. So during the Vipassana, we were meditating into the body for more than 10 hours every day with breaks in between. I find it's quite a masculine meditation because we sit so still. My feminine side wants to move much more, but I'm telling you, I was like, my whole inside was like clay, moving into, feeling into my body. And the thing is, because this is my work, and you know, I work as a Tantra practitioner. Because this is my work, I'm so accustomed to going in my body. Because I'm a dancer, I'm so accustomed to like putting my awareness like right into the sensations of my body. So what a flippin' luxury for 10 days not to have to speak to anyone, to quiet the mind, to surrender the entire mind into the feeling, into the sensations of the body. That by day 4, I could tune into this opening, you know, every time I went into nature, I would tune in, and this opening of the veil, of this curtain, nature. The more one tunes into your body, the more nature reveals itself. Everything is so brilliant, so harmonious. It's incredible. So it became easier and easier and easier to tune into heaven. Hey, it's amazing. Then on day 8, I'd been meditating into my body. I didn't know what was going to happen. I had no idea what's supposed to happen or what's going to happen. You know, I'm just following instructions, focus on the sensations in your body. And then day 8, I was meditating in my room, actually on my own, feeling the body, also feeling the spine, and actually moving my spine a little bit, loosening that cerebrospinal fluid. I could feel the cerebrospinal fluid going in my in my brain. And then suddenly my whole body just like, it felt like it like filled with light. I started purging. I understand that purging as our still holding on to or being attached to suffering. So I started purging, throwing up, and then my whole body was just filled with light, and I was like vibrating. My body inside was like in this like slow pulse. It's somewhere in between a heartbeat and a breath, the rhythm of breath, like somewhere in between there. A slow, like woo, woo, like that. My whole body was doing that, and I went outside, and the whole of nature, like everything, like even the other people, the buildings, like especially nature, everything was just going woo, in and out of reality, woo, in and out of reality, woo, in and out of reality. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? I'm in the veil, like I'm slipping in and out of the veil, like woo, woo, woo. And you know, it looked like one can see the energy behind everything, the vibration behind everything. I could feel everything. I was like with everything, in everything, everything. I also felt that if I let go with that pulse, I would dissipate. Yeah. So I didn't want to leave. I still want to be here for my children. I did tie myself back into like a little bit of a feeling of condensedness to be grounded in this 3D by tying my hair in a bun. But this absolute peace, bliss, harmony, presence, love, forgiveness, being okay with everything. I could feel that everywhere in my body, like in my toes, in my feet, in my face. Like I was, like everything inside my body was just this divine presence. Not me, not me, Leon, with my stuff, but something much bigger than only my ego, you know, something much bigger than only me. So even now when I'm speaking, I'm like, Leon, how dare you say stuff like this? How can you now say, you know, you've seen through the veil? How can you say like this is a spiritual awakening? How can you say that? Who are you to do that? Or like, what have you studied? What do you know? Which gurus have you followed? I'm like, how dare you? How dare you come with all of this? Like, how can you sort of give it a stamp of approval? And it's weird that that comes up for me. I almost feel like some authority is going to be angry at me and go, how dare you? You don't know what you're doing. Like, you're just like a little child exploring and playing in the forest, you know, and then you discover magic and then you think it's true. But you know, going back now, or coming back and listening to the spiritual teachers, listening to the guides, listening to what Buddha said, listening to what Jesus said, now I know they were speaking from this space. They were also speaking they were also speaking like little children on the playground, just trying to help their friends and say, listen, I stumbled on some truths and I'm going to share them with you, and we're all the same, and we are actually all the divine. And why I want to encourage you to meditate into your body, to really feel your body, and to really feel very deep into the physical body, and not escape and think our spirituality is up there, out there, one day to be going to, but to bring the realization home in ourselves, in this body, in this here and now, and the power that we have to actually, I feel tension in my throat as I say it. Actually get a bit tense about it. Maybe I can just relax about it. Sometimes I feel it's so urgent to tell other people that through us we bring the heaven. It's not God out there that's going to come here to save us, but it's our realization that we are the God energy. And this is how we bring the resolution, peace, change into this world. This is how the new earth comes into being, is through us, through our realization of ourselves as being, never having been separated from this divine creator energy. So I'm on a path of exploration. I'm trying to also figure out, how do we live with this? How do we constantly tune into our bodies to be in a different way of having more presence, having more awareness within every moment, how to really make the most of every moment by bringing this calmness, this understanding of its magnificence and beauty, because every single one of us that have an experience of the new earth, that every single one of us that sit in wonder, we are like cells in an organism that is realizing itself as God. So the more of these cells realize themselves as actually being God, the more this entire organism is turning into an organism of love and peace and love, 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 the power of love that flows through us, the power of aliveness. God, we're creating this. We are creating this. Okay, let me stop there for now. The message, the underlying message is, hey guys, I stumbled on some truths. The way that I did it is I followed the path of simply feeling the visceral body, of simply focusing on the sensations of the body. You can get into or come into incredible spiritual realization. If you are a seeker, you can try this path. I love you and I believe in you. I see you.